We actually have some pre-sale data for the Fallen and the Virtuous. Make sure you guys smash the ever-loving crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So Kong's put up pre-sales for the amazing product that is the Chronicles, the Fallen, and the Virtuous. And discount code MCO40 will save you on your purchase. There might be a restock on some of this stuff because I saw some of the big hitters have already been wiped out, but 21 listings on the Secret Thrust, $8 on the Fusion Deployments. Fallen and the Virtuous was 8. Dogmatica Fleur-de-Lis was 8 and 8. And these are just the extra cards you can get. Everything else in these decks are literally nothing. This is also not factoring in for Starlight Rares yet. You know, you have that chance to pull a Starlight Rares. You know, I hate to tell you this, but I think Thrust is a lot of the value within, you know, these decks and so forth. So I'd pay attention when Starlights do populate. They will be on here, and be prepared with discount code MCO40 to save you on your purchase. So, Runic cards. This is a little bit not surprising to say the least, because as of recently, we've been seeing Runic kind of popping up in Genesis form. And I remember, I mean, you're never going to get the special summon with any of these, but that doesn't really matter. But nice 8.5. Though looking at the rest of these, 59, 60, 67, on up to $80 to $90. You're telling me that just to play the Runic tip, this is one of the most expensive cards. And before you're like, oh, you know, there's not selling. Well, they have sold at these higher price points, which is so crazy to think about. So I guess good job to the tip. Sleipnir, which will never be able to make you $17. The fountains are $12 for QCRs. Meanwhile, you can get CRs for $2 less. It's actually kind of impressive. And then, of course, Ultra tips come in about 4s, and then about 3 to 4 on the Secret tips. And then, of course, everything else is just fusion-oriented, dipping on down into the vastness of nothing. Once again, I'm kind of impressed by this, honestly. That, you know, we're just seeing, you know, these shifts and downturns here within the market for certain cards. So cool. The Fallen of Albaz. So, if you've been paying attention to OTS Ultimate Rares, ever since Genesis format kind of kicked off, you're going to notice kind of like a resurgence in a lot of these OTS Ultimate Rares. Fallen of Albaz kind of being one of those that has kind of reignited, you know, I guess it's passion for the market. The thing with this is if you're looking at Fallen of Albaz, most people would be like, well, just go get the QCRs. I mean, sure, it's not a terrible thing, but the alties are coming around about $22 to $20 a copy. Your sales data on this, I mean, it looks like there wasn't a lot of copies on these other market as it is, though you do see people do come through here and wipe out playsets at a time. So it's to your advantage to have more than one of these listed, because more people are willing to buy a playset from you at the same time. Hopping on into this OTS pack, skill drains are $7 and water enchantresses are still $6. You know, to see at least the Fallen of Albaz recovering, though you do have that one cheap listing there, that's fine. Caiuses are still $4 from this set. What the okay, sure. Chalice's Gores are still up. You know, this set had some pretty decent cards. All right. Offerings to the Doomed. So I guess if you're still an Edison format enjoyer, there was some tournament data that recently spawned that was showing that players were actually choosing to play the Offerings to the Doomed just as a spot removal option. Now remember, I mean, skipping your draw phase, I think, is a very, very, very big double-edged sword. You have to be very, very careful with how you are handling this. And, I mean, it could potentially end up backfiring on you. But, you know, seeing that, you know, this has become a little bit of a tech choice, I see that we only have 11 listings on the DTs here, as well as moving up to 3 on up to about $8 there, which is kind of crazy to see. And then, of course, even like the lower rarity versions, at least for the Speed Duel Tournament Pack Supers and the Twisted Nightmare short prints, also have value. Okay. Chronomaly number 6, the Atlantis. So we've talked a little bit about gimmicky FTK cards kind of throughout the course recently and how the market is kind of reacting to these sorts of things. You're looking at about $11 on Atlantis, only 22 listings. And of course, the counterpart down here, 70 cents. I mean, this thing only ever had 2 printings. And it's crazy to me that we've never reprinted this. Though I do want to go back into Return of the Duelist here. Return of the Duelist boxes are $125. That feels very, very low. And of course, this is also the set that had your spellbook cards in it, which, I mean, both of these, actually all 3 of these, are still very up there. Still get to see the Heroic Champion Excalibur, $16 on Unlimbs. The Machu Mech, the other OTK enabler, our FTK enabler, still 15s. Girgian X's down to 9s, actually. A little bit more surprised to see how much our friend has dropped. Temperance of Prophecies have also dropped down in price, which is good to see. Soul of the Silver Mountains are still $5. I don't think... Soul of the Silver Mountain never got a reprint. That's crazy to think about out here. Soul Drains are also still coming in at 2s. This set is very much an oddity to check in on and just have a good time. That's kind of the cool thing, like looking at like cards that have not been reprinted. You're just kind of like, really? Prophecy Destroyer being another one of those really, really weird cards. Another Caius doing really weird things. So this is from the Dark Emperor structure deck. And I don't think a lot of people, have the thought of going, let's go take a look at how First Ed Caius is doing from this old style product. Well, I most undoubtedly assure you that you are gonna be getting a kick out of this because this is hilarious. These are $17 a piece, and actually they go up further beyond that because you eventually hit the 25 here on the near mints. That's crazy to think about. All right, we also got to check in on Dirac cards. So Dirac stuff has been kind of running the market a little bit on Genesis format. A lot of people have been kind of, picking these up. As you can see, I mean, your field spells are already breaking nearly $5 a copy, which I guess isn't too surprising to see, considering, it is a free pop and a free search that just allows you to get to the key components that you need. But also, good old Astero here is another one of those cards you got to keep an eye on. Astero is doing the same thing that the other one's doing. You're hitting $3, $4, maybe up to $5 after that shipping cost is coming through. And I mean, your trade-off here is this is all just good potential cards to help smash through, and take advantage of the extra deck. So, good stuff. Medius, the Pure, oh my god. $101 copies of the Starlight Rare. Secret Rares are $25. But why though? Well, I guess your market is just taking advantage of this. And then Medius the Pures from Duelist Advance are $12. Holy crap, man. I guess this is what happens when you're part of the lore. And then we have Garden Rosemary. I want to continue to check in on this card because watching the repopulation efforts on the Starlight Rare as more and more people are opening up Doom Dimensions has been quite interesting to watch. But you're still holding $83 a piece. You're still holding at $33. And then you're still holding at like 29s down here. And you're still doing, pretty consistently well, in my opinion, for this. And also, I want to showcase something hilarious here. So, Topps is making Labubu trading cards. And I don't know how much you guys pay attention to the haha funnies of the universe, but I don't even own a Labubu. I eventually want to get a Labubu for the Memorinos, but the fact that this will be a reality within the trading card game world eventually, that Labubus will have trading cards and other things, is both an interesting and a hilarious turning point within the world. But I would also love to see Furbies getting trading cards. Oh wait, they did in Magic. But this is the world we live in right now, people. Very, very interesting, isn't it? To see, how times and things can crawl wrong. But it is time to leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about today's market. And of course, no matter how strange the world of trading card games works, it's always going to be an interesting time. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.